The anti-LGBT bill was introduced by some private members to Parliament some few months ago. Church leaders have also intensified pressure on Parliament to pass the bill into law. The latest to comment on the issue is the resident pastor of the Wonder Cathedral of the Adenta branch of the Action Chapel, Bishop Isaac CLIVE MOULD.
One has to be careful about how we look at this subject matter. It is not something that is debatable. It is not something that we should allow like an imposition or someone else's culture upon a culture that has been full of value and decency and with a culture that is so beautiful. And at the end of the day, how do we allow, it's not just only about culture, it's about decency, it's about human dignity. You know, human dignity. I mean, God who created us didn't say a man should sleep with a man. The story of Sodom and Gomorrah is a seminal case to tell you how God abhors and how God rejects that attitude of homosexuality and all these things. I'm very sorry to say, sometimes some people may have challenges, and I think people may have to have spiritual deliverances, and sometimes people have to go to the hospital to be checked against psychological and psychiatric challenges. And that is where my pain is, because maybe if somebody becomes homosexual and then the quest, you know, and then the crave for this, it means that there's a shift in your mental faculties, and that has to be, it's not an insult, that is it's a fact of life. It has to be addressed. I mean, if somebody comes here and start talking to you anyhow, that I want to strip naked, I want to sleep with a girl, the first thing that comes to you is that, is the person correct? Is the person normal? And so sometimes there must be a further diagnosis to search people's life and their health, to see why they do the things they do, why they feel the way they feel. Because it's not natural, it is not normal. And to me, I detest it. But I pray that those who unfortunately find themselves doing that need some psychiatric attention and spiritual attention.
He added that the act should not be looked from only the religious background, but should be centered around culture and humanity.
Once upon a time, there was no law to stop stealing, for instance. There was no law to stop rape, for instance. Because if there is no law, there is no sanction, and then therefore we will live anyhow in this life. And so there must be rules, and there must be laws governing us. Those who are privy to jurisprudence will tell you that, listen, at the end of the day, there are different laws in the world. We have the fashion, those in fashion have their laws, those in football have their laws. Culturally, even if you look at chieftaincy and different cultures, different races, everybody has his own law, whose law should be taken. And that is why we are able to sit down and have an independent legal system, so that everybody would have a common system and a common law, a common rule to follow. And so if we allow everybody to take their own law into their own hands and perpetrate these evils, then we will have problems. So there must be rules and there must be law governing in order to override some of these contradictions.